Cathy Engelbert, the commissioner of the league. Doggy, Peter, Monica, let me say for the record, you should resign. You need to resign. Period.
Stephen A. Smith just demanded that the WNBA commissioner step down immediately, and Caitlin Clark's explosive exit interview has exposed a scandal that could tear the league apart. This isn't just some off-court drama. It could mark the downfall of Cathy Engelbert's leadership. Before we dive into all the chaos, make sure to hit that like button. The more you engage, the bigger this story becomes. Comment resign now if you're backing Caitlin, and share this video everywhere so the truth can't be silenced. And don't forget to subscribe, because this situation is far from over, and you'll want to be here when the next major twist hits.
The commissioner, and I say that not in any kind of derogatory way. She was talking about Cathy Engelbert directly. She revealed private conversations, you understand, with quotes from this lady, the commissioner, about what she said that came across as dismissive, as derogatory, and unappreciative of the athletes that represent her league.
Stephen A. Smith isn't backing down. On ESPN's First Take, he looked straight into the camera and declared, Cathy Engelbert has failed as commissioner, and it's time for her to resign. Let that sink in for a moment. This is Stephen A., one of the most influential figures in all of sports media, publicly standing beside Caitlin Clark. His voicing what countless fans have been feeling, that Caitlin Clark was singled out, mistreated, and left unprotected during her rookie year. From brutal fouls that went uncalled, to being benched when she should have been leading on the court, to the injury many believe came from the league's failure to protect her, Caitlin has carried it all. And throughout it, the silence from the top, Cathy Engelbert's silence, spoke louder than any statement could.
Cathy Engelbert, I'm sure you are at home with some ice bags on your eye, on your nose, on your head. You've been getting punched around non-stop for the last few days. Wow. This is crazy. Caitlin Clark just unloaded on Cathy Engelbert and exposed the absolute truth about her injury. We had reporters lying to us. We had one reporter saying it was because of this, one reporter saying it was because of that. Caitlin Clark just exposed the entire truth about her injury and exposed
And now, Caitlin has finally spoken out. In her exit interview, she didn't rant or lash out. Instead, she was calm, open, and genuine. She spoke about the emotional toll of the season, how she often felt unsupported by the league and powerless over decisions made far above her. Fans picked up on her tone, and so did Stephen A. Smith. He connected the dots, making it clear that Cathy Engelbert had failed both the league and Caitlin Clark. But this story gets even more explosive. Behind the scenes, insiders are now alleging that Engelbert herself played a role in Caitlin's struggles. Was she benched to keep other players satisfied? Did the league try to suppress her popularity because they couldn't control it? And perhaps most troubling, did Engelbert turn a blind eye to the rough fouls, the cheap shots, and even the injury that cut Caitlin's season short? Fans are outraged. Social media is erupting. Hashtags demanding Engelbert's resignation are trending, and major news outlets across the nation are finally taking notice.
WNBA, Caitlin Clark, you understand, who is box office for the WNBA. Just look at the numbers, look at the ratings, look at everything.
Stephen A., you talking, and she definitely the needle, not the needle mover, she the whole needle.
For her to come out and said, Fee said it all. She's letting you know that Napheesa Collier didn't lie, she didn't mince words, and she didn't misrepresent what the collective body of the league is feeling about this commissioner and her leadership. You cannot, and then the biggest point, guys, that I made yesterday, and this is the number one reason I called for Cathy Engelbert to resign. I don't care who it is.
First of all, I have great respect for Fee, and I think she made a lot of very valid points. And, I think what people need to understand, we need great leadership in this time across all levels. This is straight up the most important moment in this league's history. This league's been around for 25 plus years, and this is a moment we have to capitalize on. So that's honestly what I would say. I think there's, Fee said it all with what she said. And, I think the points she made were very valid.
Stephen A. Smith didn't back off. He doubled down. He said the WNBA can't survive if it keeps treating its stars like outsiders instead of family. According to him, Caitlin Clark isn't just another player. She is the face of the league. The ratings, the ticket sales, the merch, all of it skyrocketed because of her. Yet somehow, she was treated like a problem to be managed rather than a superstar to be celebrated. And let's be real, does that sound like leadership, or does it sound like sabotage? Fans everywhere are starting to ask the tough questions. If Cathy Engelbert remains in charge, what happens next? Will future stars trust a league that failed to protect its brightest one? Will parents still encourage their daughters to dream of a WNBA career if the league can't even stand up for its own? Caitlin Clark is only 23, with her entire future ahead of her. But this season, under this leadership, nearly broke her. And it's broken the trust of the fans, too. Many are now saying Engelbert shouldn't just step down, she should face consequences. Fines. Public accountability. Because if this is what leadership looks like, then the league's future is in serious jeopardy. The WNBA had its golden opportunity, and Caitlin Clark handed it to them on a silver platter. She brought the spotlight, the soaring ratings, and the national attention every league dreams of. But how did the WNBA repay her? By letting her get hurt, benching her, and embarrassing her on the biggest stage. They tried to hold her down, but instead, she's risen even higher. That's why fans are rallying behind her louder than ever. Stephen A. Smith didn't just call for a resignation, he warned that the WNBA is doomed if real change doesn't happen. He said Cathy Engelbert's leadership has thrown the league into chaos and that its credibility is hanging by a thread. And here's the harsh truth. He's not wrong. Sponsors are paying attention. Networks are paying attention. Fans are furious. If the WNBA fails to act now, the entire league could crumble. Because this isn't just about Caitlin Clark or Stephen A. Smith, it's about the future of women's basketball and the next generation of stars who deserve better. Players everywhere are now second-guessing whether they can trust the WNBA with their futures. And if Cathy Engelbert remains in charge, what kind of message does that send? That leadership doesn't matter? That players don't matter? That fans don't matter? This right here is the breaking point. So here we are, Stephen A. Smith standing beside Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark standing tall against everything that tried to tear her down this season. And Cathy Engelbert, sitting at the eye of the storm, her leadership under a microscope for the entire world to see. This isn't just another controversy, it's a defining moment. Either Engelbert steps down, or the WNBA risks losing the trust of an entire generation of players and fans. So tell me, do you think Cathy Engelbert should stay, or is it time for her to go? Drop your answer in the comments, because every voice matters. Smash that like button if you believe Caitlin Clark deserves better. Share this video everywhere, because the league would rather you didn't. And don't forget to subscribe, because this fight isn't over. Cathy Engelbert has been exposed, the truth is out, and now it's the fans who will decide what happens next.